Hey guys, Auspicious'Aussie here, and welcome to episode 16 of the My Son the Traitor series here for WCW. Today's episode, obviously, we're continuing on from Crowd Control. Very good pay per view, I think. We did a good job. The start of the pay per view was a little bit rocky. Maybe match placement wasn't the best it could have been, which might have led to better ratings for some of those matches lower down the card had I put angles with people with a bit more overness to boost up ratings and make the crowd a little bit hotter going into other things. Anyway, as a result of that, I showed at the end of our last episode, we're up to 72 across all those other regions in the United States, with 77 in the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast. That's looking good. Obviously, we're building towards Fall Brawl for the month of September, which is going to be a big pay-per-view. It's going to be a big one. But the next thing we have to do is work out storylines. So we'll get pretty much into that straight away because we've only got essentially a day. Like Nitro is today, if that makes sense. So the world title storyline, Lance Storm, very good performance, 84 rated match with Booker T there for the world title. So we're going to be removing Lance. We're going to be removing Natty Neidhart as well. Going to be going down to New School versus Old School, and then we're going to be taking Canyon out of that storyline. So we're going to continue to roll with this storyline. I do like it for DDP. I think that can be sort of maybe his like predominant storyline, where we might even sort of bring people in and out of it as well, instead of just focusing on DDP being the old school. It could be someone like Kurt Hennig, someone like Vader, that can come in and be that old school, where we push someone that's younger, maybe of a different, heel face divide. So yeah, something to think about. I like that one. This one, we're going to be ending this storyline, and we'll be replacing it with something else. So I'll do that later down the line. But let's go down. We'll work our way from 1 to 8. So Canyon, with a big win over DDP, is going to move into the World Heavyweight title storyline. He's going to be the next opponent for Booker T, and potentially an actual contender to dethrone him. So yeah, that's going to be a really good storyline for this month, going into Fall Brawl. And like I said, we very well might even take the title off Booker. We'll just have to wait and see how we go. Anyway, next one. I was happy with this one. The United States title, RVD over Sean Stasiak. So we're going to remove both of them, both Jindrak and Stasiak, and then we'll figure something else out for RVD. I don't know if... I think we have to, for storyline purposes, make it Chavo. So we're essentially going to be ending a second storyline there as well. But there will be something in its place. I think... So I'll do it now. So we'll take Chavo out of this one. We'll keep it there for now as a bit of a placeholder. And we will add Chavo back in to... Not back in, but we'll finally add him into the United States title storyline there as well. The World Cruiserweight. Honestly, not 100% sure what I'm going to do here. I feel like... Pretty sure Shane Helms has versed everybody on this list, apart from maybe Shannon Moore. I'm just trying to think, like, Shannon Moore, I don't know if his popularity is going to be good enough. That one's an interesting one. We'll come back to that one. World Tag Team. I mean, we've pretty much got to add back in our champions. So Stasiak coming back in, and where is he? Not Stasiak. What am I doing? They're still going to be in the... Yeah, there they are. Columbo and O'Hare are our champions. So remove them, add them back in. I did just put in Stasiak. I'm not going to put Jindrak in there, and I'm going to remove Stasiak because they will not be challenging for the titles. All right, so the champions are back in there. We need to remove Stasiak because Stasiak will be doing something separate. This one we're going to end. DDP needs a new opponent. I'm wondering who we do for that. Need to continue Buff's redemption as well, which is going to be tough. I think we need to find something for Dustin Rhodes to do as well. So, for this one, we're going to... Actually, that works perfectly. Yeah, so remove Billy, and Billy's going to go into... the World Cruiserweight, because we're going to be doing something with Billy Kidman here. Hopefully he's not... He's better as a babyface. He's not... too incredible as a babyface, so that's perfectly fine. What we're going to do with this one is we're going to alter it. And this one's going to be... You might see where I'm going with it, but fully blooded Italians. So we'll save that for now. That's going to be a new storyline there. I'm going to remove Guido from the Cruiserweight. I'm going to add him into... Where is he? Little Guido. We can remove Samoa Joe from that as well. It's perfectly fine. We'll go to Buff's Redemption, remove Johnny the Bull. Fully blooded Italians. We will add Johnny the Bull into that storyline. So that's one of them covered. It's going to be a storyline for this month. I need to get Johnny the Bull up to, considered important enough to be on the show without getting a penalty. So I need to work towards that somehow. This storyline, so number 6, which was Awesome Wants Tori Wilson, is going to change to... what shall I call it? It's going to be to do with Team Canada. But I would like a nice little storyline title just because it's going to be a pretty important storyline going forward, probably until Starrcade. So let's go Resurgence of Team Canada. It's not the most exciting, I guess, title, but it's going to be pretty important anyway. So Lance Storm needs to be in there. Kevin Steen needs to be in there, and we've just recently gotten PCO back as well. So that works out. Lance Storm. And we will work out who we want to chuck in there. I'm thinking for now, maybe we do American Dragon, seeing as he's still a babyface. And it can, I guess, be the start of their anger towards the American people. New school versus old school. We need a competitor in this one. Is Cena back? That's something I need to check as well. No, so he's still injured. He's probably going to be injured for quite some time. Another 2.5 months. Okay. That's all right. I'm wondering, that's going to be pretty close to Starrcade. I might even give him his debut on Starrcade and have him get a big victory, like a big upset debut victory over somebody. I think that could be a really cool way to have him debut. Anyway, that's 3 months down the line. And we need to focus on what we're doing here. So, all right. We need somebody. Who have we got in here that we could potentially use? I might take Super Crazy out of the World Tag Team storyline. And we might use him against Buff Bagwell, the Redemption Tour. Where is he? Super Crazy. I like that. Gives Buff a good opponent. We might run with this for another month. It was an okay match. It wasn't great. There's something we could do with this. There's a signing that we could make. All right, so the last one I need to really sort out is just DDP's opponent. It's new school versus old school, so we're gonna go with Stasiak. He's got enough overness. Actually, you know what? Seeing as we got both of them, I think they'll both again benefit from being involved in a storyline with someone like DDP. We also have Vader. Almost tempted to put Vader into the World Cruiserweight storyline. But I won't for now. What's Vader's overness? Or do I have Vader work with some of the up-and-comers like Kendrick, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe? It could be a decent idea. I think I like that idea. We're just going to call this one Vader's Problem. And it's literally going to be Vader. It's going to be AJ. It's going to be Samoa Joe. It's going to be... I mentioned him before. We'll go with Hendrick. So we'll chuck those three in there. That's really annoying that it's going there. I don't really want it to go there. It's sort of ruined my aesthetic. And there are no numbers after. If I do 11, is it going to go... Is it going to stay where it is? Yeah, it is. I guess we go 9 and 9. And that'll probably put it where I want it to be, which is the last storyline on the list there. Potentially might have to get... I really like the numbers because it allows my brain to work the way it should. So we'll leave that down the bottom for now. All right. Let's book. Interesting that Lance Storm is now in the franchise players list, which is very good. Very good indeed. And he's considered our primary heel in the company. Let's get looking through a few other things. Nothing else has really changed. Everything's pretty much the same as far as showstoppers, ring generals. Hidden gems are still the same. I'm not really wanting to sign any of these guys either. But let's get into the show. Actually, one thing I do want to sort out, we might do it after the show actually. So let's just get in. Let's book. We've done about 15 minutes here, just working storylines out. So we got Awesome going before Wrestlers Court. Positive Impact. You love to see it. Cena is still absent. Perfect. All right. So going to run in the Mid-Atlantic, Charleston Coliseum. Yeah, so North Charleston Coliseum, if my brain will work, there it is. And let's book. So I think we already have one match booked for this show, and that was a bit of a mistake I made. And that's going to be Dustin versus Shane Helms. So Dustin's going to get the win, so therefore I can essentially have Billy Kidman. Am I doing Billy this month or next month? I might go Shannon Moore. Let me have a look at Shannon. He's quite good. He doesn't have a lot of star quality, but he's quite good, and he's going to have. He doesn't have any mic skills, which is unfortunate. I mean, 3 count. Yeah, we can do 3 count. All right, let's do this. All right, let me book this first match because obviously we know what we're doing with this one, and then I'll book the main event and we'll go backwards like that. So Dustin Rhodes taking on Shane Helms, the cruiserweight champion. Give it 8 minutes. Give it a fair amount of time. Dustin's going to get the win. It's going to be open, scripted, tainted. And we'll go outside interference finish on Shane Helms by Shannon Moore. Perfect. And then there's also going to be a distraction onto Shane Helms at ringside by Evan Courageous. So there we go. That'll kick off that storyline. I like it. We'll even have Dustin cut a promo onto Shane Helms, and he can also talk about Shane McMahon off camera as well. And we'll just see how he does, to be fair. Cool. Actually, you know what? We'll go double entertainment. We'll go the two of them. All right. Now let's put the main event. So I'm trying to think. I don't really want to use Booker in the main event. Yeah, PCO's not over. We've got Awesome. I could do Awesome versus Booker. But I won't. Let's go Canyon. I need a pretty decent face to verse him. And we honestly don't really have him. I mean, Billy Kidman's probably the only option. And I feel like that's kind of an average main event, if I'm being perfectly honest. We might be able to call this match, although I think Billy might be a little bit too low. Good to see Kane's actually improving. Yeah, he's a bit too low on the psychology there. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how I feel about it. We're gonna chuck Booker at ringside, so it'll get it'll get a bit of a bonus for the storyline. Oops, I did not mean that. Was almost a terrible mistake. Luckily, it didn't work. All right, so it's gonna work because we'll have this angle post match. Have to be non-scripted as well. An 8-minute angle there for Booker and for Canyon. That'll go post match. I'll just chuck a little post match. So post match angle Booker T, and then I'm going to go pre match angle with Canyon and Billy. Give that one 6. There's there's not going to really be too much about that one. It's more just an angle for Canyon to try and get himself over. Did I already do... Let me have a look at this match here. I think I already did it. Kendrick versus Vader. Have I already done this match? No. Okay, perfect. It's going to be a 6-minute match. It's going to be open because I don't want to really bury these guys, but it's going to be a decisive victory there for Vader. And yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'll do a little menace angle there for Vader as well. Going to be a little 4-minute angle. Then book... I was going to say that maybe that could be the Wild Brawl, but probably not. You can go storytelling with it, I guess. All right, so storytelling with that one. We're then going to have a match with Team Canada 2 are going to take on Lowdown. We'll give this 8 minutes as well. D'Lo is going to get the win. The loser is going to be PCO. And we're going to keep Awesome strong. Essentially a pretty big #1 contenders match, I would say. And then we're also going to do this as well. So where is she? Tori Wilson. Babyface, prepare to turn. Lovely. Yep, I think that's, I mean, her gimmick doesn't really need to change. But we're going to build her up to have a heel turn so she can be on a same heel face. Essentially so she can be a heel as well, along with Mike Awesome. So I'm then going to have an angle with Lance, Mike, Tori, PCO, Kevin, Kevin Steen, sorry, I'm going to call him Kevin Owens a lot probably, and finally Natty Neidhart. So we'll go entertainment there. We'll go sex appeal for Tori. They will all grab some success from this. And I think this is probably going to be the way that we try and build some of these other guys up a little bit. Team Canada is going to be around for a while. I also have another idea with it, which I do like. And I could even put Chaz and D'Lo off screen. It's essentially going to be Lance Storm talking to PCO and Mike Awesome about their opportunity tonight and the fact that they need to make Team Canada look strong with a win out there. I'm then going to have an angle with Shane McMahon, and he's going to cut a promo onto Dustin Rhodes, purely by himself, with Dustin off screen. I'll get that one booked on there as well. We'll go another match. Who are we going to use? I need to use Johnny. Maybe we just do an angle for Johnny and Guido. I need a match though. Let's go Kurt Hennig versus Johnny the Bull. I want to give him 8 minutes as well. I don't want to put it too short. Open script decisive. During the match, we're going to have interference onto Johnny by Little Guido. Like that. I might move the Shane McMahon promo up because I want to chuck another angle after the match there. This one, I'm going to have Kurt Hennig and Johnny the Bull have an entertainment angle together. Pretty much just want to see how they go. So I'll give that 6 minutes. Don't really need to do success for that. So that'll go pre-match, but then I want to have Little Guido and Johnny in an angle themselves as well post-match. And this is purely, I'm trying to get as much popularity onto Johnny the Bull at the moment because he's extremely close to getting up to that recognizable level. He's 33 popularity. He's very good. Even his microphone ability is starting to go up a little bit, so he's not far off. He's not far off. And of course, that's going to advance the Fully Blooded Italians storyline. There might be another new signing in relation to that. We'll just have to wait and see in the coming episodes. What else we got? We haven't done US. We haven't done this either, and we haven't done the World Tag either. Oh, I suppose we kind of have done the World Tag titles with this #1 contender match here. So let's do something with Chavo. We're going to have another angle with Shane McMahon. So actually, we'll start this one off with Chavo. Might even kick the show off with this angle, I think. And we'll have Rob be off screen. They'll all grab a little bit of success. Gonna need a match. I wonder if is there a way? Let's do a 6-man. This'll work pretty well. I think. It might be a little bit bad for Buff. I'm trying to think. Let's go Buff, Chavo, and yeah, let's do this. Buff, Chavo, and Jindrak. They're going to take on DDP, Rob Van Dam, and Super Crazy. That's actually a pretty good match. We'll give this like a proper 10 minutes as well. I might lower it to 8. So Super Crazy's going to get the win. The loser's going to be Jindrak. I'm going to keep Chavo strong, Bagwell strong, open script decisive, and we're going to see what that does. We're going to see what happens with that one. And then I think on the next episode for the show, I'm going to have Chavo versus Super Crazy. I think that'll work out pretty good, just to get Chavo's momentum back on track. We're pretty much at our time now, and okay, so that'll be Wild Brawl. That's perfect. Kurt Hennig, Johnny the Bull, Wild Brawl. I just need a Steal the Show. Probably that match right there. Steal the Show. I would assume that Dustin Rhodes versus Shane Helms is going to be a pretty damn good match. And that's the card. But we're going to be penalized. So I will need to lower that slightly. And we would not be penalized. And if I can find another 2 minutes, I can actually add another full angle. So I'll take 2 off that, off the post-main event angle. And then who haven't we used? I'm thinking that I could... maybe we just go... Yeah, we'll do this instead. So I'll have an angle. We'll have Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Hare, and they'll cut a promo onto Chaz and D'Lo Lowdown after the number one contenders match. That works perfectly. Gives them some promo time. It's going to be after the number one contenders match, so it just works with the way we want to do things in relation to the storyline going into the pay-per-view. Where am I at? I've lost where I am. One more. Cool. And it actually kind of splits it up nicely going into the sort of second half of the show there with the Vader angle. Alrighty, looks good. Pre-show. What have we got? We've got... Let's give Palumbo and O'Hare a win. They don't really need it, but we'll give it to them anyway. Go a nice 12-minute match. Sean O'Hare getting the win after losing to Chavo. It's going to be non-title. That's pre-show. Got to remember to ticket. Cool. We'll go another tag match. Try and find some more positive chemistry together. Let's have Booker and AJ take on Lance and Kevin Steen. Perfect. It's going to be a really good match. Probably shouldn't be on the pre-show. And let's give... Yeah, just Booker the win, and we'll have Kevin be the loser. I don't think it's really going to affect the popularity of Lance Storm too much being on the pre-show. Yeah, let's run it. It looks like a really good show. Alright, so we start off with a 41 rating here for Nitro, where we have Palumbo and O'Hare defeating the Jablonski boys in 12-18 when Sean O'Hare pinned Dean Jablonski, that's actually relatively hard to say, with a senton bomb. Injuries, pre-show, gotta love it. Chuck Palumbo has a torn rotator cuff as a result of that. One half of our tag team champions, and Chet Jablonski with the botch. So yeah, not good. Anyway, second pre-show match, we get a 73 rating. We have Booker T and AJ Styles defeating Lance Storm and Kevin Steen in 11:55 when Booker pinned Kevin with a bookend. Good stuff. All right, we kick off Nitro with a 74 rated angle here where we have Chavo Guerrero Jr. barging into Shane McMahon's office to kick off the show. Of course, Chavo essentially says he's beaten champions over the course of last month, culminating with a victory over Sean O'Hare at the pay-per-view. As a result, Shane, give me what I deserve, being a United States title shot against Rob Van Dam at Fall Brawl. And Shane agrees. He says, you deserve it. You're going to get your match at the pay-per-view for the title. However, tonight you're going to be in six-man tag action. And that's occurring up next. It's a really good rating to kick off the show. And it's a really good match. That's solid. So the six-man tag getting us a 70 rating there. We have DDP, Rob Van Dam, and Super Crazy defeating Buff Bagwell, Chavo Guerrero, and Mark Jindrak in 8:26 when Super Crazy pinned Jindrak with a moonsault. Very good match. I'm hoping that this will be the match to break Super Crazy into a recognizable star for the TV show in the company at least. So he can start having matches against lower mid-carders to boost himself up and really start to solidify himself in the mid-card. Again, Rob Van Dam looking absolutely incredible out there. Buff being penalised with his poor form as well. And Jindrak was off his game. But yeah, took the pinfall, weak link. We move on to an 88 rated angle from Shane McMahon by himself. We go back to Shane's office where he talks about the actions of Dustin Rhodes at crowd control, getting the win over him, and really making an impact as the American Nightmare. We're going to roll with that gimmick there for Dustin Rhodes. Obviously, Dusty Rhodes being the American Dream, Cody Rhodes, in real life being the American Nightmare as well. But I believe there was a time when, Dustin had a very, very similar gimmick where he wore essentially an American flag outfit to the ring for matches. And I think it was in WCW as well. Anyway, good stuff. And that's the wrong person again. That's Johnny Ace, not Johnny the Bull. It is what it is, but yeah. Let's ignore that face there, and it's Johnny the Bull. We go into their match. That's really annoying because that was going to really, really help Johnny's overness, and again, hopefully, boosting him into no longer being unimportant to the fans. Frustrating. Anyway, 66, really good match. We have Kurt Hennig defeating Johnny the Bull in just under 8 minutes by pinfall with a fisherman's suplex. During the match, we also had Little Guido run in and attack Johnny the Bull. Good match, continues the storyline, starts the storyline, I guess, and gets Kurt Hennig a match on the card. We then go into a 43 rated angle where we have Little Guido essentially verbally tirading Johnny the Bull after the match, saying that he's a disgrace to the Italian name and he needs to start winning. If he joins Little Guido, he'll start winning and they'll be a force to be reckoned with as a team together. Johnny disagrees, says he doesn't like what Guido's about. All right, we then go into a 55 rated angle here for all of Team Canada. I know Tori Wilson is actually American. We're gonna eventually get into that as a storyline down the track as well. But yeah, everyone else Canadian except for the lovely Tori Wilson. Lance essentially says to PCO, Mike Awesome, get out there and win the number one contenders match for the World Tag Team titles. That match gets a 56, so slightly above that angle, where we do indeed have Lowdown defeating Team Canada 2 in 8:19 when D'Lo Brown pinned PCO with a frog splash, and we got Tori having subtle mannerisms to her future heel turn. Yeah, the penalty there as well for the face-heel divide. That's perfectly fine, and yeah, Chaz was off his game. New number one contenders are Lowdown. And we go into the following angle after the match, 58 rated. We have Palumbo and O'Hare, the current World Tag Team Champions, and they cut an angle onto the number one contenders, being D'Lo Brown and Chaz. We then go into a Menace angle here, getting a 63 rating there for Vader. Getting better at his gimmick, which I like. We also need to start tweaking people with bad gimmicks. I need to remember to do that. I need to put that into my brain and sear it in there. Super Crazy is one of them. We had a comment about Super Crazy and making sure that with this push that we're going to try and give him, that we start tweaking his angle, his gimmick, try and get it up to from a poor level, at least to a middle of the range average level. Anyway, the match for Vader gets a 56, where we have Vader defeating Brian Kendrick in 5:34 by pinfall with a Vader bomb. And this kicks off the Vader's Problem storyline. Good stuff. We've got a lot of young guys in that one, which are they're essentially going to be fed to Vader. But I've got an idea, not this month's pay-per-view, but next month's pay-per-view that will actually use Vader and hopefully get these guys a little bit of popularity as a result. So we move on to a 59 rated angle where we have Dustin Rhodes, and he cuts a promo to Shane Helms. Says he's going to do exactly what he said he was going to do last month and beat Shane Helms, beat the Cruiserweight champion. Their match together, I mean, it does kind of steal the show. We get a 69 rated match here. Dustin Rhodes defeating Shane Helms in 7:51 by pinfall with a lifting reverse DDT. That's following interference from Shannon Moore. And obviously, during the match, we also had Evan Courageous distract Shane Helms as well, with 3 count getting involved in the World Cruiserweight Tag Team, the World Cruiserweight storyline as a tag team. God, I've got to try and get my words out. Good to see Dustin also getting better at his gimmick as well. Happy with that. All right, we then go into a 50 rated angle. I did this unscripted. I should not have done this unscripted angle. 50 is really bad for Kanyon. It's an angle with Kanyon and Billy Kidman. Kanyon came across well, but Kidman did not do well without a script to follow. I didn't really want Kidman to be speaking in this angle whatsoever. So that was a bit of a mistake. And yeah, Kanyon then struggled because he wasn't scripted and Kidman was. So yeah, that messed up a little bit. That's perfectly fine. Goes into the main event and it's an absolutely incredible match. I'm happy with that. We're going to forget about the last angle. We're going to focus on this main event match. 78 rated, where we have Kanyon, the current #1 contender to Booker T's World Heavyweight title, and he defeats Billy Kidman in 1602 by pinfall with a flatliner. Very good match. Billy Kidman is very good. I'm a fan. He's very good in the ring. He's not so good on the microphone, as we just saw. Got a 75 in-ring there for Kanyon, so, you know, he's got a hot new move. He looks good, and he's definitely the right choice to be the #1 contender at the moment. And the final angle, the post-match angle, post-main event angle, getting us a 95 rating. It's Booker T. It's expected. And we have a war of words to end the show, to end Nitro, with Booker T and Kanyon. Kanyon underperformed despite still getting a 95 in-ring segment rating, And yeah, they both enjoyed having the freedom off script. And yeah, still underperformed. And Booker T's performance was good, but then improvised well off script. I don't get it. Anyway, finished the show. We get an 82. It's a little bit lower than it's been recently, but it's still a very, very respectable, you know, Nitro rating. Potentially won't beat Raw. It'll probably be an 84 or an 85 for Monday Night Raw. So, yeah. Anyway, increased popularity in 14 regions. It's still going to increase us in the United States, which is very good. Very good. Even in those regions that we're very high in. Raw absolutely destroys us this week. 88 there for Raw is War. You got Edge and Christian defeating Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. That is a ridiculous win there for Edge and Christian. 69 popularity. Edge has got 75, but then Kurt's got 79 for Kurt. 81 there for Taker. I don't think Undertaker's only 36 back in 2001. Yeah, very cool. Alrighty. Let's see what we've got, because I know we're 40 minutes or 45 minutes into this episode. Tracy Smothers is the person I want to bring in. So, yeah. That's frustrating that someone's made a contract offer. I mean, it's only probably a small little insignificant company, but you know what? That's perfectly fine. Let's go a handshake deal. No ironclad per show. 120 ongoing contract. Travel, we'll try and get travel not covered. Yeah, cool. Perfectly fine. He's got 20 popularity, which is it's good enough. He's 38, so he's going to be essentially the sort of backup to the little Guido, and we're gonna push those guys. Let's have a look at Palumbo's injury as well. Oh, that is so bad. I'm gonna have to strip him of the titles, all for a damn pre-show match. Oh, we're gonna do the surgery. It's a low risk. It's a success, which is great. Absolutely great. Goes from essentially 12 months to just over 9 months. So we've shaved nearly 3 months off there. He can work angles, but he's not going to be able to... And yeah, Chet's now got morale issues as well. He's got an awful gimmick. Do we just get rid of him? I'm pretty sure they're just on appearance contracts. They're not... I'm tempted just to get rid of him, to be perfectly honest. Disregard. They are on $15,000 per month contracts that I've given them 10 years for. Oopsies. Did Chet have one of those as well? No. Chet is on a $30 per show. I think we'll just release him. Dean can stay. He can just be a lower mid-card heel. He's the better of the two anyway. He's actually not... He's not terrible. He's really not. But I can see him being a good worker for us in the future anyway. I was almost tempted to just get rid of both of them. I probably would have if we needed to. Anyway. We'll keep him around, and so yeah, so the next thing I wanted to do, and the thing that was a comment suggested, was house shows. We need to run house shows. It's a good way to get workers onto shows and essentially build them up to, becoming better workers, getting them on more shows, more matches. Yeah, so obviously our biggest stars are not going to be on these shows. So someone like Canyon's not going to be on there at the moment. I might put Lance Storm on there because his storyline at the moment isn't too sort of important at the moment. RVD can be on there. I mean, pretty much everyone else. Vader's contract essentially prevents him from being, because he's got an events and a show only contract. Then we pretty much want Booker T off the show, Hennig's off the show because of his contract as well. So Booker will go off. I'm trying to think anyone else that's really important that we don't want to get injured. Maybe Shane as well at this point. I think everybody else is pretty much good to work on it. It's like we've got DDP on there. I want to leave DDP on there, to be honest. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. How do we actually turn it back on? I mean, do we pretty much just add all of them in here? I mean, we want to go to all of these regions essentially. Yeah, we'll go Puerto Rico and Hawaii as well. And I think we'll do Canada, seeing as we're doing those regions. So we'll go to all of them. I don't think we'll go to Mexico yet because we're not really as over. Maybe once we get a little bit higher into there. Same thing for like the British Isles, Australia, or Oceania, whatever it's called. So we'll do those. So US, Canada. I think we just literally pick where we want to have the shows. So pay-per-views, they're run on the Sundays. And we have Nitro there. So essentially Wednesdays and Fridays, I want to have house shows. So let's do that. Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, essentially. We're going to run 2 house shows a week. I've never really done house shows. I always usually just turn them off. But seeing as we don't have a B show, it's probably a good thing to actually run. If I don't put anything there, is it just going to run people? I think it will. So with that being said, we will... Is that now active? I don't know if that's active. I think it is. The fact that it's all yellow means it's actually active. Let me run. Well, let's run forward to Thursday. So we'll see the first house show, I guess. Hopefully, I don't actually know. I'm very curious to see what happens now. All right. Message. House show held. We only drew 759 fans. I don't know if that's really, really bad or if that's or what that is, to be honest. And Dwayne Johnson is injured. Good. That's actually good for us. 759. That kind of seems a little bit low. I know it's a house show, but it seems a little bit low. Anyway, there we go. I guess we've done a house show. I don't think it really does all that much. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I guess it's just more matches for our workers. I guess we'll just have to wait and see as to what happens. Yeah. Okay. That's going to be the end of the episode, guys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you smash a like. Just before we do that, actually, I want to check. Super crazy. Still considered unimportant. Didn't gain anything. Okay, well, he got a big win on Nitro. So it is what it is. I will do this, though. We will tweak his gimmick. All right. So remember to do that. So I'm trying to sear that into my brain. Anyway, smash a like if you enjoyed the episode, guys. Subscribe to the channel as well. Apart from that, as always, take it easy and goodbye.